Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Saber, which is the founder of Twin Tech. So Saber, tell us, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing out there to make the first million?
Thank you, Harry. Hi, everyone. So my name is Saber, and I would say I would break it down to 5 steps by going back to who you are and what your vision is to really succeed in the world of entrepreneur and startups. You have to deal with a lot of challenges and obstacles, and to pass this on, you have to have perseverance. Perseverance is the key for continuing, for regardless of obstacles, regardless of the challenges you're going to face, you just keep on going because you believe it's the way forward.
I love step number 1, perseverance. I love it. Very good. Now, what would be
the most important. Step number 2 is you cannot do it by yourself. There is no way you can do it by yourself. I mean, take the Elon Musk, take whoever you want, whatever they stolen the technology or whatever the story. At the end of the day, it's a group of 2, a group of 3, a group of 4. And then even on the artist side, I mean, you look at the bands, all the rock and roll bands, they start as a crew, and then, sometimes they split. So even OpenAI, if you look at OpenAI, it's now one guy, is Sam, right? Everybody else is now gone. So I think it's your support system, and for everyone is different. As far as I'm concerned, is my family, is my wife, is my kids, is what I have built. What I have built. It's a big word, but what am I getting support from? What I'm getting support from is a strong foundation for not having to worry about other things and being concentrated on your goal, right? So as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to juggle between your life balance, your work balance, your health balance, and your support system is there, and it's an anchor. It's an anchor to take you back to, all these problems. At the end of the day, doesn't really matter. It's dinner time. You gotta drop everything. You gotta be at the dinner table with the kids, right? So your wife plays an important role. I'm not saying pick the right wife. I mean, you don't know what you get, but God has plan, and he's the best planner, and he does magic stuff. So support system with family is awesome.
And also people, very good. Have the right team. So step number 2, Saber, is to have the right team, not only in your business, but also in your family and people around you, right?
Often you start by yourself. So your only team is your family. That's the only team that will last at the end, actually.
Brilliant.
Because you fire and hire, you continue growing, man. So yeah. So you have to really take care of them. Step number 3, I think, was really a transition, because I do believe strongly about God, and having faith drives you mountains and clouds and sky, and there is no stopping you. There is no one that can actually stop you, and you have someone to go back to, someone to go ask for. You can be raising money, you can be inventing a new feature, you can be asking for a new HR to find your right talent. At the end of the day, there is a creator, and he does some magic, right? So faith, I think, for me, plays a very important role.
Yeah, very good. And I say number 4?
Step number 4, I think, is customer mindset. So where I succeed is that I was in the problems, I was in the pain, I was in the story, I was in the adventure of what I'm solving today. So you can have a lot of ideas. At the end of the day, you got to solve problems. You really have to solve problems. And you don't really need to be very innovative or very creative. Sometimes a business, as far as I'm concerned, needs just more speed, more automation, more systematic approach. And by being within the client, within the customer side, you get to really feel and use and experience these problems. Therefore, you find solution. So I think my fourth step is really customize your solution, make sure it is purpose built, and not one size fit all type of thing. That does not work. Yeah. And we've seen example in the world.
Yeah. And then the step number 5, the final one.
I think it's for me is maintaining balance. So with 24 hours in the day, it's split up in 5 prayers for me. And with my 5 prayers, it really gives me that momentum and that balance of this is time for this is time for that, this is time for here. The balance of health, I love sports. If it was only me, I would be golfing all day. I fly airplanes privately. I would be flying airplanes if I could. I've played sports at the best level possible because I love the challenge. I've never been the biggest or the fastest or the strongest, but I've played American football at a level of league that is very decent. I've got the MVP of the year on special team. I've won the Desert Bowl in UAE. In football, I played football my entire life. I compete with my brother in tennis anytime I get a chance, and he's a very good player. I play golf at a level of 12, 15 handicap. It's decent amateur level. So the balance of whatever pleases you, it could be music, it could be, for me, it's sports, it's mechanics, is engines, is flying airplanes. That's my thing. So I think my wife, she will watch this show, so I have to bring it up a little bit. I think she brings it back to chakras. And you know how you have several chakras, and they need to be in a vibe, in an energy momentum that flows continuously and without imperfection, and with challenges, with stress, and overcoming those problems. You get, just like anything, you get a little bit unbalanced, right? And with sport, with your passion chakra type of thing, you get back to, oh wow, the next day you're like running it, you're having great ideas. You go golf in the morning, you come back, and you're like, wow, having clear mind, and that's my fifth step, I guess.
Wow, I love your 5 steps, Saber, and I think that we have a problem with all the entrepreneurs out there that they want to make the first million. That we're gonna touch base in few of your steps that you share with us, because this is what happened, right? You start in your startup, a tech startup, which is hard, yeah. It's a
99%
very
fails.
difficult task to do. But then what happened, when you're looking, nobody knows you. So you're looking for the first client, you're looking for the first, and people don't take you seriously, people don't pay you little money, nobody knows you, it's your first client, maybe the supplier doesn't pay you.
True.
And then all this negative baggage, all this negative emotion is coming to your mind, right?
Right. You lose
and
confidence.
It gets accumulated. So what happened with the entrepreneurs out there that we notice is, in this podcast, we are projecting to interview over 5,000 multimillionaires. But what we find, and we want to help the people out there, the entrepreneurs that they want to break that wall to make the first million. What we happen, the people are struggling because they accumulate this negative baggage trying to build the business, and they don't do like you. They don't go and pray if that's work for them, or they don't do a sport. What they do is they start to work harder They start to go to the office Monday to Sunday, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, and they are trapped in a cycle that all the
Unhealthy.
situation made them angry, made them frustrated. Then now they're not talking with the wife, they're fighting with the wife, they're not talking with the children, and they're so busy that if you tell them, okay, look, Sarah want to talk to you, he's a very successful entrepreneur, and he's gonna tell you something, I don't know, maybe to find prayer or at least to go and do a sport, something to release that negative baggage. They will tell you, no, I'm so busy, I don't have time for Sarah. So what message do you have for the entrepreneurs out there that they're suffering, that they don't understand the value, that if you don't have this mindset of balance, if you don't manage to release this negative baggage, this negative emotional pain is gonna end up even in physical pain. People can end up with cancer.
Absolutely.
Can end up with a
Absolutely.
heart attack. Yeah. The
This
other
is
day
absolutely true.
I interviewed a multi-millionaire, three serial entrepreneur, three making million in three businesses, and the guy was vomiting blood. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because of the stress that you have to handle. So,
For sure.
Sarah, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that I do understand exactly what you share with me, because I've been there in both sides. I'm being this negative side that I'm so busy, I want to make this work, and nothing is working, and I'm exhausted, I'm angry at everybody, and things are not working. But I've been the other side. For example, I go for a walk, I do exercise, and I find ways to release. So what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that they're suffering out there and they're too busy even to hear what you have to say?
I mean, okay, the question is tough. I mean, I'm not a philosopher or anything like that, but I have my own thoughts, right? I've been through it. And the question is about that $1 million goal, right? I think for me, it was never a goal. Never a goal. My first goal is survival.
Very good.
That's goal number one. So it's very easy to figure out how much you need per month to be okay, to be on the red line, or to be super good. Everyone can figure it out, right? And I'm sure you can spend a little minute with a wife and figure out what you can cut down, because this is what you need to start to do. Because we live in a world where we're overspending is bullshit, right? So I would start by doing a little housekeeping before you get engaged into that adventure, because it's never going to be a salary. It's never going to be a monthly paycheck, especially at the beginning. So because it's not a monthly paycheck, it's actually the key. It's the key of saying that you are now hunting. You're hungry. You have rent to pay and you have mouth to feed. And it can sound scary, it can sound whatever we want, but the world, the education system has built us to be labor. So the day you decided to be an entrepreneur, don't fool yourself. It's gonna be jungle. So to overcome those, and there are probably many more, but on top of my head, you must have a lot of little things that structure, design your life, make sure you have gates, you have fallbacks, you have a structured way to approach your challenges. Okay, and I'm not a coach. I'm trying to, you could say, as an engineer, I try to build systems for doing my life is a system, right? One of which is extremely important. When you have liabilities in your financial dilemma, you are not thinking straight. Let me put it that way. If you're playing a football game or a tennis game or an NBA game, whatever it is, and you're focused on winning, the disaster of losing is strongly felt. If your desire during the game is to improve, to know what's wrong, the result doesn't really matter, because you're going to lose and you're going to win, but you're going to lose. And if you're actually focusing your time, which is that common denominator to everyone, on looking at the improvements you could do, baby steps improvement that you can do, I promise you, you're gonna win more than losing. That's statistical. There's no way you can argue that. So I think I would say then, as a summary of this story, focus on the journey, focus on the hard work within the journey. Don't focus on the end goal. Focus on the problems you're solving. You'll be solving them for sure, and your client will appreciate you. They won't hear bullshit coming from your mouth. They will hear, oh wow, he's understood us, right? And he's fixed that, and he wants $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and then you can scale that up to $1 million, and that's gonna come in no time. And guess what? It's gonna make no difference. 1 million, 10 million is gonna be like, you scaled it. It's a system now. That's it.
Mm. And then, Sabe, tell us a little bit more why you decide to become an entrepreneur on the first place. You're an engineer, so
Great.
what's your background?
Yeah, so I'm an aerospace engineer.
Oh, wow.
I love
A lot
whatever
of physics
flies.
and a lot of mathematics, no?
I love that. I did astrophysics. I did various things that really is like.
But guys like you can find a job that they pay a lot of money, and you can live a very wonderful and comfortable life. So why you give up all this amazing and comfortable life that they can pay you a lot of money and you can do very little and you will be fine, and then you decide to become an entrepreneur, which is a tech entrepreneur, which is one of the most challenging. Let me share something with you. 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 people that we interview in this podcast, 5 Tips How to Make the First Million, they're tech entrepreneurs, right? The other ones are property investors. And people might think, wow, because Harry, 1 out of 5 is tech entrepreneur and 1 out of 5 is property investor. It must be easy, make a lot of money and become wealthy in tech and real estate. And we're not talking about that these are just special, rare individuals that manage to come alive to the other side. That
the one that failed,
really wealthy, but
the one that failed did not come up on your show.
You never hear about
There's gonna be a lot of them. So I think the stats is quite bad. I think it's 0.1% of all of us are entrepreneur, if I'm not mistaken. In the tech startup world is like worse, is a lot less than that.
This is jungle. Tech the startup exactly that you described is jungle and big
thing is that everyone has the same idea already, and then to pitch it to a customer that I've heard it so many times is a trouble. So
then, Sabe, why you decide to become an entrepreneur? Why you decide to make your life so uncomfortable?
Yeah, I guess I can't stop to a challenge, man. There is no way I can stop to a challenge. I mean, no, let me put it, let's be like completely factual. So I leave my well-paid job, and I decide to go for a company and entrepreneurship.
Oh my! Why your parents told you?
My parents.
Your wife told you? Why your wife told you when you said I'm quitting my job, and why your parents told you when you told them I'm quitting my job, I'm gonna do my own business? What did they tell you?
They are so supportive, Harry. You have no idea. They trust me. They trust my choices.
You're so lucky.
I guess
my mom told me you're crazy. My dad as well said, "What? I got an engineer. I got a degree in chemical engineering."
Yes. I checked that out. We have a lot of in common. Maybe you can sell for me a little bit. So let me say, my sister is a good example of telling me I have a problem. My problem is I have a short memory. and I often listen to her comment about that because she is able to remember stories that
Mhm.
can't even remember the context or who was there.
Wow.
And I've come to the conclusion that I have a selective memory, and whatever, I don't give a shit that's come in and go out as fast as possible. I mean, I think at some point I tried to think I had a CPU in my head and some hard drive that had limitation, and then I discovered that it's actually unlimited. So now I play short memory and long-term memory.
Mhm.
So I'm having fun with that. But back to the story, she says I have a short memory because uh, my mom and my wife and everyone else probably said, "What the f are you doing?" Right? Like I mean,
You
I've
just
been
forgot.
promoted. I probably forgot, and that's part of embracing perseverance.
Mhm.
And I'm probably saying perseverance the wrong way, but you know, my Franglish is a little bit messed up. But
You're doing
then,
great.
but but then, by perseverance also means that you don't give a shit about what others says. You have a vision, and
Absolutely.
you're strongly attached to this is what I want to do. I want to do a show and interview 5,000 guys, right? That made it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. And me, I want to build that simulator that I've dreamed of, a software that does nothing that the others do. Nobody needs to see the engine. It's so dynamic that nobody needs to see it, but yet it's marketed like the others. That's a little bit of my secret sauce. But how did I actually make it? So to be really, really factual to others that are listening. So I leave my nice job, you know, corporate level, reach corporate level in no time. I have too many ideas for all these old guys. So I decided it's time to get the fuck out of there because I'm gonna be constrained. I'm gonna be limited, and I have no limits. You can't tell me, you know, we have no budget or some bullshit like that.
You cannot do this.
Mm, you can't do this, or Saber, that's not your department, or it's not your domain, dude. I've done so many things in 7 years that my own boss and his boss said, we just went to a Dassault system conference and the CEO's talking, and we saw you on that stage. And I was 28 years old back then when he told me that. And I never really understood that anecdote story. I'm like, okay, that's still the CEO of Dassault system. Like, what are you talking about? So the way he present things, it's so similar to the way you present things to all of us, all guys sitting here, and you're telling us what needs to be the vision and the direction. And you're only 28, 29.
Wow.
So that was crazy. So I have that vision of that software that can fix the world of complex industrial projects. Okay. Our project sucks. They're delayed, they're overrun on cost, and we throw people at it so that we can finish on time, and it's a lack of quality, lack of safety are involved to that. And all the old guys that knows everything about how to do it well are gone or retired or you know brought in just for an expertise and so on. So 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 put it that way. When you go to the gas station, right? You pay $4 a gallon or $5 a gallon in the US, you know, €2 in France, whatever it is in Saudi Arabia or in Asia, a lot cheaper. Um, and you think inflation and you think Biden and you think this and you think that are the cause of it. The actual cause of it, and that's like a very, very large statement I'm putting out here, is that we do projects that makes the gas and the oil like shit. We make them badly. They're not efficient enough and they're not made productive enough. Okay. So I came to that conclusion, spending 10 years in the business of making those platforms, making the refineries, that they are made in a
Wow.
way that are not well done enough, fast enough, on time enough, Therefore, your gas price
Goes
is high, right?
Yeah.
If I can bring you a solution that is that dream shot, like that moonshot, that if my software helps you to make these projects better, faster, then you pay $1 a gallon. Okay? So
Wow.
that's the crazy moonshot. You go and talk to a client and you say that, they will kick you out. Don't say that. So if you have your moonshot,
It's a
keep it for
big
yourself.
industry. It's a big industry, and everybody's making.
But let's say you imagine a CRM.
Mhm.
Let's say you imagine a CRM. You're a tech guy, you think of something that sucks. You're like, there's thousands of them, man. There's HubSpot, there's Salesforce, there's Microsoft, there's everyone. But you have a moonshot. Don't say it to anybody. Keep it for yourself. However, go doing all the baby steps so that you can reach there. Slowly, carefully, discreetly. So that's my moonshot. Now you know it. And how do I get to the first step? I must survive. I go from that much of salary to no more salary. So I don't raise any money because you could go that way. It's going to take you a little while. You may get something, and I can tell you, it is a world. If you think I was jungle, you're in piranhas there. Piranhas. It is terrible.
And
I've been through it.
And with no clients, oh,
No client, an idea of CRM.
oh my God.
See you. Well, nowadays, if you don't talk AI, you're out of the short list of the application
They
form.
won't even talk to you.
They don't say hi. They don't reply to the email.
No.
They could actually put an AI to reply to the email and say, hey, your thing is not AI related, so get the fuck out.
So, Sabe, how you find the first client then?
So, sorry, hold on. They don't tell you the story. So, I start by making a very small marketing agency. A small company, a small agency that can do softwares, designs, and I built a little bit more because I'm an engineer and I was able to do more things, but let's say that's the cover story. So I created a company in Abu Dhabi called Belpro Digital. It's still running. I don't kill companies. It's better to keep it. and I don't make my first million anytime soon. I'm selling fucking website and CRMs and HRMs. There's no way.
No way.
No way. And I'm selling Facebook ads but I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I have faith. I have a good network. I always hold my word. I'm a good man. So I get my network running. People know me. I'm not anybody. And you guys, entrepreneur to be, I'm not anybody. You have a system. You have something going on. Either at the golf club, either you play paddle or pickleball in the States, whatever it is, you have people going on, social fair, social thing, your neighborhood. So people know you, they know who you are. So you better be a good person, or else you're not gonna have a lot of a door open.
No way.
But so let's say you have those assumptions done, and the thesis is they're gonna introduce you to people, and when they introduce you to people, you have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes, make an impression. So come prepared. Have good collaterals, material stuff that you want to talk about. Make them dream a little bit. Not too much, but just enough so that they think that it's not a one-time job or a short-term job. They can count on you on what's painful. I have so many examples of that, but give it a year, and 1 year later, I was running the marketing and some software space of the golf clubs of Abu Dhabi. That's 3 golf clubs. So one manager is in charge of 2, speaks to the other manager, and the word of mouth is the best thing to get in that business, in any business, to be honest, because the next story is really amazing. So I grow that. I have some friends that open restaurants and gyms and whatever. Oh, Saber, we need people know nothing, man. They know nothing. Sorry. They have expertise in one area, food and beverage, gym, fitness,
Mhm.
early childhood, whatever it is. You have another expertise, and when you can simplify what it means, when you can put it in a public way and tell them that you can reach somewhere with graphics, it sells for itself, man. And they see that you are tenacious and perseverant, and you can demonstrate. Once you get one, you get the next one and the next one, and the ball is rolling. And your next goal is really to make sure you have people that can help you support all the sales you did, because you did so much sales. And then, and so then the big software now, the realization of my software, it's not done yet. My roadmap is huge. But how does it start? How do I go from that software agency development team of, I guess, maybe 10 devs, designs, 10 people
Wow.
team, 10 people team to now 20, but focus on one software?
Wow.
It doesn't start by itself. It doesn't start easy. So network again works. So the COO, the chief operating officer of my career corporate job, moves himself. Everyone moves. Everyone changes company, right? And he goes to that new company as a director of everything. And he says, in 2020, he says to me, calls me out of the blue. The blue happens a lot. You'll see, because you're
When you are on a
lucky.
space, when you're on the space and you are good people and you're a good person,
Yeah, out of the blue happens
a lot.
like, wow. And you say, oh man, that's luck. No, it's not luck. But he calls me and says, Saber, just come and help us, consult for us and make it better for us, right? I don't give the names, I don't give the area of expertise, but when I go there, he knows what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kick inside everything, make sure all the shit comes out. And when the problems are in front of me and my computer start putting things together, I can tell them what's going on, what's wrong, having a good methodology to explain the gaps, to explain the opportunities for enhancement. And so then I made them an offer. I made them an offer to say, I want to develop that software. You guys know me now. The director knows me, but he's a sponsor, so we don't talk to him too much. We speak to the operational people now. They have problems, and they know Saber can fix it. And Saber has a support system of a team in Abu Dhabi that can do the work. And that company is based in Monaco. So you go to a 30,000 employees company and you're nobody. I'm nobody. I'm one guy that has a reputation, that worked at a pretty prestigious company before, and that they don't hire him as a consultant for software. They hire him for consulting on work processes. And so after 6 months of consulting, I offer them to develop the software, or because integrity is an important part of everything, or here's the 5 other top software in the world that can do what we worked on as work processes. Yeah. And I tell them the pros and cons. I made them review the demos of all of them.
Very good.
And I say, but this is what I offer you, but I'll develop it and it will take about 6 months. So we're talking about large corporation. They are
Takes time to approve and to process all this.
right, large corporation. But 1 month later, I'm approved. I'm a qualified supplier, and I get to start developing. When I start developing, I know exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it, because it's prepared. It's not luck. It's a lot. It's years. I came back to the realization that in 2014, 6 years earlier, I was already talking about what I want to do, but maybe in a simplified manner, right? So it's not wake up one day and you have that great idea. I don't know if that exists. It probably exists, whatever. My story is it took a long time working at corporates to understand the problems. And I know how to execute so well thanks to that small company called Bellpro Digital, that I've learned a lot through that experience too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I made a living, not that living. I made a living. Everyone was happy. And then I moved on to offering my services at a larger scale. So we're talking here about intellectual property. There are a lot of new challenges that come your way. And when you have challenges, guess what? Things are doing well for you. If you have challenges, things are doing well. You're moving. You are moving. You got wave, you're moving. If you have no wave, you're just being taken. You don't really know what's going on. You've been taken. That's in short my story here.
But I think, Saber, the story is a wonderful story of success, because we find a lot of the other problem around with tech entrepreneurs that rather than do what you did, which is trying to find a client, offer your solution, and once you have approved, go and develop. A lot of entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs out there, they take all the money, time, energy, they sell the house, they borrow much money they can to develop that software, yeah, without knowing if the marketplace wants to buy this.
Exactly.
And
Thank you, Harry.
they are gone overnight because it takes a lot of money, resources. And this is what 98% of everybody in the tech space is doing.
That's a shame.
They go to they put all the money, energy, time, develop this software that is gonna solve the world. And then after they run out of money and they have the piece of software that they don't know if somebody's gonna buy it or not, guess what? Then they go to investors. Say, I need money to help me to continue develop the software. And for marketing, the investors are looking at them and say, "You crazy? You're coming to money to keep developing something that so."
So I'm lucky. Look, Harry, you heard how lucky that means I am.
I think you beat your luck. I'll tell you why. Number one, because your first company that it was in marketing and sales.
Yeah.
I'm doing websites and everything.
Right.
Actually paid the payment because doing this business, maybe you say I was doing okay, but it makes you learn something out of this business. You knew that at the end of the day, in order to be an entrepreneur and to be a tech entrepreneur, if you are not strong in marketing and sales, and you don't know how to reach to this potential client and sell your vision and people buy into it, you are dead before arrival. And and I think that look, a lot of multimillionaires tech multimillionaires that actually I interview in this show, honestly, most of them are not software developers. Some of them don't even know how to write the code. But you know what? They are marketing and sales people. They understand what is the problem. They go and sell the problem exactly what you did. And after they pay a developer to do, I said, listen, develop this.
Yes.
These people are going to buy it.
I've done this many times. Many times.
So
I sold something I didn't have.
So, Sabe, give us a message to tech entrepreneur. Why tech entrepreneurs? I understand, some of them they have software development background. They're engineers and they're passionate about writing code and they're passionate about writing software. This is what they love about. So of course, they put all the money, time, and energy in.
I don't think that's a good. I don't think it's a good motivation, my friend. I don't think if you're good at software coding, do not build a software. Do not do a tech startup. Do an R&D startup. Do a thing on the layer before software, because you must go sell what your softwares can do. I mean, you see that it's like I can code. I stopped coding the day I had to explain what we needed.
Wow.
And I hired the team directly for coding. You can, in a team of developer, Harry, in a team of developer, in a team of product, you need a software architect a product owner, a team lead, front end, back end, DevOps, quality controller. You are everyone in one person. This is what you're telling me. I mean, today I'll put AI agents to do all that, but 4 years ago, there was nothing. So regardless, Harry, to come back to the question is very clear. Tech entrepreneur must realize that they need to fix a problem that their market industry is having problem with. If they are software coders, then they have to go to the layer of abstraction to go figure out why coding sucks. Because they are coders. So their expertise is coding. So they know what are the flaws. Flaws are unit testing, deployment, CI/CD, whatever. There are flaws everywhere. We invent framework everywhere. So go to the layer. Why are we coding in JavaScript or PHP or Python? Why there are so many languages? And why machine learning is not anymore using coding, is using numbers to code something. So the AIs can communicate between each other, right? And they can write code. So for them to write code, they have their own coding assembly language for them to know that they should do it like that. And that scared OpenAI like a few years ago. They figured out that the AI was, I think it was Google, if I'm not mistaken. The AI has invented the language so that it can speak better to each other. A language that humans cannot even read or write.
Wow.
So this is what I would say to a guy that is a software engineer, maybe work in the consulting world, where they drop you in, those companies that McKinsey or these guys, they drop you to so you have an expertise as software engineer, and they drop you with a business unit to a company that have real problems, that have raised a problem, right? It's a problem statement, clear. And you as a software engineer, you're going to hear all the problems, and don't go there as I'm just going to code what they say. Like, go with another mindset. You're going to figure out what are all the problems, understand that industry, see if it's scalable and can be a product, sell that bitch to everybody. You're going to cut all the bad words.
No, we're not cutting here anything, because this is priceless information. We be very bad if I cut any word that you are saying, because actually,
I don't know.
Sabe, you're telling the truth. Do you understand? At the end of the day, we want to help the people out there, and we don't want people to suffer. We don't want people to spend the saving or the loved one.
Oh no, don't do that.
The house. And I get it. They're passionate about the product. They're passionate about the software. They're passionate about what they're building. But the engine, how they are operated, it doesn't work. It has to. They have to adapt. Like, that's the other thing that I hear a lot in the tech world. Yeah. I invest in tech companies, and I help a lot of founders. They come to ask me questions, and I help them so far. So I hear a lot of stories in the tech startup. That's what I'm sharing with you. And one thing that I hear a lot, is that when I say I talk to tech entrepreneurs, with doing the startup, they tell me, Harry, look at me. You have general idea, general knowledge. You build a multi-million-pound business. I built a multi-million-pound business, the property sector in London, 17 years ago. So they always tell me, Harry, you see, you good. You know how to build a multi-million-pound company, but tech is different. Tech, you don't have any clue about tech. You don't have any clue about tech. Tech is different. Tech have nothing to do with other businesses. The more I see tech and companies, the more I see that they are more similar or as similar as other businesses. Because, they say, oh, because his tech is different. Well, it's not different. If you don't sell the product, you have nothing. This is happening in any business.
So
I
I haven't.
mean, I get it that the valuations of the company
That doesn't matter.
higher than the traditional
It's
business. I understand that
right.
because
Okay.
they use the data, and what
Eh,
data can be used increase the valuation. Valuation is high, depends, but I can accept that, okay, the valuation is high. That's why a lot of wealthy people are in tech. However, I think that the more I see tech, the more I take business as it is now, the more I see the similarities with the normal business. Whether before, I think that what happened, Sarah, is that 10, 15 years ago, people were going to a piece of paper, to a VC, and said, I have this idea. And the VC thinking that it's going to be the new Amazon, the new Google, the new whatever, get them $10 million to develop. But you know what happened? Those days are gone because they did lose a lot of money. So they are now more conscious that, in my opinion, I don't think that anymore is not viable anymore, that you go to a venture capitalist with a piece of paper with an idea that you're gonna do X and they're gonna give you 2 to 5 million. What message, Saud, or what can you tell to people that keep thinking that, oh, tech is different, tech is no restaurant, whatever, tech, I only get a piece of paper and I'm gonna get a couple of million for a VC. So what is your view on that? What can you share with entrepreneurs that maybe hear a story? Because that's the other thing. You hear a story of someone that, oh, I got this idea, and with a piece of paper they gave me 2 million, and the people start to think that this is normal. Maybe, let me tell you something. Maybe you, for example, so you are a person that have so much credibility and you prove yourself to the market that maybe you can be in the position that if you write something in a piece of paper, you can go in the VC and they might give you the money. But you have a track record.
Right.
A track record that you know how to build that.
Right. Yes. And you have a
So it's
system, you have
possible. It's
people.
possible
Yeah,
that maybe with
it's
a piece of
possible.
paper they give you the money,
But
but not to an startup founder, right?
and they will fuck you over. I mean, remember, Tom, there is something important. I tell you the story. To raise money, I did it 4 years later than having that early adopter. And who raises money with me after I've seen so many ventures? Another client.
Wow.
A client decide to raise money that he pays license for.
Wow. That's amazing.
What does it tell you? The good shit you've built, and it's useful, and he wants to make sure you survive, because his core business is not to sell licenses of software.
It's saving, but using your software is saving a lot of money, right? He doesn't want the software to die.
Thank you. He wants to make sure that all his projects backlog are covered until the end of times. So you get the best deal as a founder. You get the best deal because you're not gonna have ventures coming in your shareholding meetings and giving you trouble. You're gonna have a true partner that wants the best for you, because if it's the best for you, it's the best for him. And as an entrepreneur, I think I should have said it, that mechanic must be at all time. Either you do business with friends, with family, with colleagues at work that you guys go out together. You must have a mechanic of relationship, of giving. You must. So bracket closed. That customer so is your best partner, because what is the best software? A software that fulfill problems, fix problems, answer problems, give you solutions. And who is the best to give you his problems? Your customer.
Absolutely.
And they cannot tell you in one meeting. It's going to take time and caring and nurturing that relationship, and going all the way to China. I go all the way to China to go meet them.
Really?
Of course. Yes.
Wow.
I'm worldwide, man. I spend vacation in Miami. I go to China. You must move. Moving is life. The money is not necessarily in Canada or in your home country. The money is everywhere. The problems, you need to find someone that is willing to fix it.
Yeah.
So I found that guy, and they raise money, and that's my story. And that's, I think, the best way to give the little shares, not so much. It's also a proof that you're not putting your pants down
Exactly.
for
Very
a
good.
little bit of money. You keep full control, and you have the
And the
true
client is
feedback.
your partner. The client
He's
is
your partner. He gives you feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback makes you progress. If you're a tech entrepreneur and you're looking at servers in Azure or AWS, you're fucked. You're dead. You gotta know what's going on. You gotta be out there, not in there. All right. So I
So
guess that would
Sabe,
be.
tell us, if somebody is listening this podcast, I want to have access to your software. How they can find you, how the process work, how can you help them out? What type of companies can you help? Can they only in the gas and oil space, or maybe it could be also on operations, independent? So tell us
Yes.
a little bit more.
Great point. Yeah. So the software carries one mission, is the ability to see very complex industrial projects within the same platform in 3D. So Connect 3D, you view the very complex refinery in the platform, on the web, on your phone, or on the laptops. Very simple thing, very lightweight, very fast, very user friendly, because user first design. And in it, you start plugging all your enterprise system. So you plug your 3D models, you plug your supply chain, your procurement, you plug your engineering processes, you plug your construction processes, and then with tools and features, engineers, managers, whatever profile and role, they're able to understand their scope of work, accelerate finding of information, creating views and saved information so that they can retrieve it or share it to others, and do some very advanced thing that I want to go into detail. But let's imagine, Harry, that you want to build your house. Okay, let's put it down to a house level. It's complex.
Oh, yeah.
It is complex. You build a
Especially
small
because
house.
I want to save water, I want to save energy, I want it all light.
Oh, no,
I
you're
want
going
it
too far.
all because
Too
I
far.
need
Too
light.
far.
I want light everywhere. I want to
I'm
pay
sorry.
very little electricity.
I'm sorry, you cannot achieve that. Harry, you cannot achieve that. It is so interesting what you just said, Harry. Because if you go to an architect today and you say you want that, this is
Will tell
called.
me it's not possible, right?
He says, okay, Harry, thank you very much. We'll put 2 watts bulbs. This is not what you're looking for.
No.
This is definitely not the answer
I
you
need a
wanted.
lot of lights because
Look
I
at this
need
beauty.
light in my house everywhere because that gives me
Correct.
clarity to start my day. I don't want to pay electricity too much money,
bill too
so I
high.
want to be like heat and especially I live in London, so it's cold there.
Okay, so maybe
I
solar panel, wind turbines.
So I need an angle in the house that allow me to keep the heat as much as possible. I also don't want to waste water. Yeah, I want my water to be recycled, and I want to save the planet. So I want the thing that I use in my house to recycle, and maybe I can use as a biofuel in my own house. And I need to know what is the position, but because I'm also in Feng Shui, so the doors have to be in the energy that bring me wealth and money. I cannot have my desk in front of that is not a door.
So what you said.
Your software can build the house for me. That would be amazing.
So not only build a house for you, it actually give you simulations of what would be best for your Feng Shui. Different options. So here's the problem in the world. when you come up with a project like that, you describe these are functional requirements. You want, good lights. You want reusing. Okay. These functional requirements must be derived to engineering requirements. And then once engineers are designed the desk on top of that cupboard because it's better energy sufficient, but the constructors come and say, you guys are dumbos. That's not how we do it, right? And put back the desk on the floor. Yeah. So there are several aspects to what I'm explaining. The outcome, the bottom line is what? Is that architects, engineers, designers, world builders are unable to create simulations and to have an opinion, a thoughtful opinion about how we're going to go about it. Is it so, Harry? These are all his requirements, but my constructors for Windows, this is his requirements, etc., etc. And so Harry wants north view, Harry wants southeast view for the sun. Then, therefore, here are the different prices and timings, because hours of work derives cost and derive timing. Now, Harry loves Italian marbles. And so in your material, that's also going to drive your costs. So today, in the way we're doing construction and engineering and procurement, it is absolutely nowhere near a simulator. And this is what I'm building, and I have built a piece of it.
Thank you so much, Saber. And without note, thank you so much for this interview. And for all of you watching, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Saber break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Bye, Harry.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.